Okay, so I just finished watching the documentary Subconscious War. A short documentary about 30 minutes long, but very informational. So, kind of the ideas in this film are about corporate media and how corporate media is distracting the public and kind of making us feel and think certain ways. And when I say corporate media, I'm referring to television, video games, technology. Really, really keen on technology, really, and how these devices are keeping us so distracted on a daily basis. So, some technologies and some things that were looked at in this documentary. A lot of the ideas were based from Aldous Huxley and George Orwell. And these two ideas were formed into a book called Amusing Ourselves to Death, which was written by Neil Postman. So Aldous Huxley stated in 1958 that he was speaking about technological devices. He quoted that these are extremely efficient instruments for the imposition of power by small groups over large masses. So basically you have these large corporations, such as Sony and Apple and, whatever, creating these instruments over large masses of people, and these instruments are running their profits through the ceiling because people continue to buy them and they continue to entertain themselves with these products, whether it be with the latest iPhone, whether it be with the latest PS4, or whether it be with their computers, buying movies, buying music. All this stuff kind of just keeps you on a loop of distractions, and it kind of hides you from the truth. It breaks into the idea of corporate media imposing these strategies on children, and that's how they kind of create loyal brand buyers. So you have, these shows and movies done by Disney, and it's not only Disney; it's other corporations as well that are doing this. So they're just powerful forces that are playing on these children. So, they get a hold of them young, so they become loyal brand buyers later on. And you can see it. I mean, all you have to do is turn on the TV for 5 minutes and look at not only the shows, but the advertisements that are going on. Buy this, think this way, buy this, buy that. And these kids sit there in front of the TVs and they're taking all this information into their head, and subconsciously it's creating ideas and feelings for these children. They want to go out and get that latest toy. They beg their mom, they beg their dad. So it's creating that brand loyalty very early on, creating young consumers. So corporations, they're geniuses. They're playing psychological games on the public. And it's frightening. It's very frightening. So it's important to just try and break away from everything for a little while and do some of your own thinking. Anyways, it spoke a little bit on the documentary about an American soldier. His name was Ethan McCord, and basically he was involved back in the Iraq War. There was a video that came out of an AC-130 killing civilians in Iraq, and the video surfaced, and you could kind of see the horror and the graphic things that were going on. So this Ethan McCord was a part of the Marines who were on that mission. So he was exposed to seeing children who were killed, dead bodies on the ground, not only children but adults, and he asked his commander, whoever was in charge, if he could take these injured children and get them immediate medical attention. And they were denied that request and said to just give these children to, the local police. And after seeing all this graphic content, Ethan McCord went to his commander back at base, and he said, you know, I'm gonna need some mental treatment, because the things I saw, they're really bothering me. And he was denied of mental health treatment, and the Army was actually considering that to be malingering. So malingering is, you know, faking an injury to get out of work or duty, and that's actually a crime within the United States military. So he was denied of his mental health, and, you know, he was, yeah. So really, to speak on the corporate responsibility aspects of this film, you got to look at corporate media and what they're doing to the public. That's really a big one, and it's not hard to see the distractions that are going on a daily basis. I mean, you wake up, first thing you do, you check your phone. You know, you go through Instagram, you go through your Twitters, you go through whatever. You're immediately pounding your brain with useless information from people that you probably don't even care about. And then, you know, you go to school, you go to work, taking some more debatable, useless information. You get home, you want to kick your feet up, and you want to throw on the TV, or you want to throw on a video game and do whatever, and continue to distract yourself from the truths that are going on. You know, so these corporations are playing a role in our everyday lives without us even knowing about it, right? And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. They're almost profiting off of our stupidity or our ignorance, or, you know. And I don't think it's right. I think as humans, we're better than that. Aldous Huxley quoted in 1958 during an interview, said, "People will come to love their oppression, to adore the technologies that undo their capacities to think." That was in 1958. That was 60 years ago. And it becomes more apparent every decade, you know, every year almost, with new technologies and new things that are coming out to distract us, and we continue to buy them. And it's not so much an issue of buying these things. The issue is that you're allowing your days to go by without doing any actual thinking for yourself. You know, all you see is in the corporate media is do this, buy this, think this way, buy this car, buy these clothes, it'll make you feel good, be rich, you know, be powerful, be this figure. Really, all these corporations are doing, they want you to be the ultimate consumer. Just keep buying and buying and buying. And unfortunately, almost everybody's falling into that trap. I mean, I fall into that trap. But at least I have the capacity to think for myself. And I think ultimately, that's how we can stop these corporations. Once you start to dive into the research of what's going on in the world, the system that's been created by, you know, the government and all these high powers, playing the minds of the masses, really. It's all a game to them. Once you start looking into that stuff, you can start to distance yourself from these distractions. I mean, sure, you know, I'll still go home and I'll, you know, play Call of Duty, and I'll, you know, play my video games, I'll be on my phone. But at the end of the day, I'm always trying to learn more. I'm always trying to discover more about what's going on. And I think that's how we can break free, is to start doing your own research and just simply start thinking for yourself, and don't allow these ideas from the corporate media to distract you, and don't let them distract you from the truth. So keep finding the truth, people.